trucking family, and my hotshot hustlers. They are. All hustle, hustle. So, this video, talk about what I think are my three biggest keys to success in this. And I don't know if you can hear it, but Lord, this wind is ripping, boy, ripping. I'm headed westbound on 80 in Wyoming, and Wyoming is, I call it the wind state because, you know, it's worse than the Windy City. Yeah, I think, I was talking to Dixie earlier and I had like 8-mile-an-hour winds. Now I'm at like a 25-mile-an-hour headwind, so she giving it to me. But, so let's talk about the three keys to success, in my opinion. Solely my opinion, what I think made me successful. If you call me successful, I don't know. I'm just a truck driver, you know. So, but I think the first one was kind of, you know, there's a couple here. It's open. I was open, willing to listen, and I was open-minded enough to take change and take advice. Because a lot of us come in here and we've done some research, and unfortunately, when you start in this business, well, when I started, and I know a lot of guys that do this, just because once I talk to them, you know, and they're in the business, they stop watching my videos, they stop researching. Like, some of them I've talked to, they don't even know what's going on in the industry. Because they feel like, oh, I'm there. I'm in it to win. I'm in the truck. I'm a truck driver. I'm successful. But you're not. Like, you successfully started a trucking company. So, a lot of people want to be set in their ways. They want to think they know everything. Like, I've been doing this 5 years, and I have had people contact me that's been in it a couple years, and I remember, I'm open, and I'm willing, and I listen. But there's people that just will not admit that I know anything. Like, they will talk to me like I have no idea what is going on. Now watch, this lane is ending up here. Now watch this brake liner. Watch. This lane is ending. Look, you see that? Oh, you can't see it. But anyway, he tried to rush me up here, and he was all the way up to my drive before he realized he can't beat me. So he was going to try to race me and then cut me off. And I'm going to tell you right now, when people do that, I'm not letting off the fuel. Just because he knew better, he knew what he was doing, and he's not going anywhere. I got cars in front of me, I got trucks in front of me. You know, we're all going the same place at the same speed. But anyway, so I'm open for suggestions. I learn every day. But when somebody like that's been doing it a year or two wants to argue with what you or I or anybody has been doing successfully, you know, it's just, they're on a limited schedule, a limited time. Like, it's not going to last forever. But you have got to be willing to listen and try new things and understand new things. Like, getting into this truck is a whole new thing for me. Yes, I'm a 4th-generation truck driver, okay? But that does not mean that I know everything about trucking. I don't. Truck, like big rigging. I know how to haul cars on a HOTSHOT. I know how to run lanes on a HOTSHOT. I know how to work on a HOTSHOT. Like, I'm pretty good with a HOTSHOT, I'd like to admit, you know, or think. So, and I'm good with this truck, but some things I just have to learn because they work different. Even though they're basic, this big rigs are really basic once you get down to it. But being open and willing and just taking advice, not thinking I know everything, because I will never know everything. The minute I think I know everything, I'm hanging the keys up, and I'm going to sell the truck. I'm not even going to give it to the family or anybody in the family because I think I know everything. So I'm going to make their life miserable. I'm going to ruin the company because I know everything. So the minute I know everything, go. And that's what a lot of this channel is. People don't understand it, and that's why I'm called a hypocrite. This channel is a trucking experiment. It's a big old experiment. What works and what don't. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's do this. Let's do that. Oh, you're a hypocrite. What? Because you said this, and now you're doing this. Well, the truth is, that didn't work, so we're doing this. But that's that. So, one of them, and they're in no certain order because I believe they are all the most important. They're all super duper whooper important. So number 2 is a network of experienced truck drivers. And that also goes in with a mentor. You gotta have a mentor. You've got to have people that are experienced longer than you. Now, I'm not saying people with less time than you can't teach you anything. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to have people that are 15, 20, 30 years in the game on your side. Because if you are the top of your circle, you're going to get stagnant. There's no one for you to learn from. No one. On the big scale. You can learn little stuff from the new guys. You know, like, oh, I went and picked this car up and this happened, so I did this. But as far as driving over the Rockies in the middle of a snowstorm, who are you going to call? Who are you going to listen to? Who are you going to talk to? 15, 20-year vets. The network. This phone rings off the hook. And they don't have to be hot shots. Like, I got a guy right now, my boy, one of my best friends. He's been hotshotting about 2 years. He got into this watching my channel. But he's got 18 years CDL, man. That boy he can make a semi-purr like a kid. But he learned from me on the hotshot part, and I learned from him on the semi part. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this works. And he's one of those guys that he doesn't have that big ego. He knows some stuff, but he also knows when he don't know some stuff. He calls for advice, I call for advice. We still talk about loads. And we've been doing this a minute. So what would you do on this? Would you run this? Does this make sense to you? Blah, blah, blah. You don't need to make all your own decisions. You're still the boss. You still run stuff. But the outside looking in is usually the best perspective. And they don't understand, you can explain it to them and they may catch on, or they may say, whoa, you're way out in left field with that thought, buddy. That's not even realistic. And it works, you know. And I have people that call me all the time, and I talk to them like they'll be in the middle of doing something. Like somebody called me the other day, and he had a Ram 5500 blew up. Brand new truck. 5-week-old truck. And if you're on here watching, I ain't talking smack on you, buddy. And you'll see that in a minute. So he went out. We talked, and he was going to look for a new truck. He wanted to go to a bigger truck. Well, he went out and looking, and he was looking at a medium-duty truck. A big money medium-duty truck. I mean, triple digits medium-duty. Well, by the time we were done talking, and I just gave him my perspective of it, and he no longer is looking at that medium-duty truck. You know, because he was in the mindset, I need a truck and I need to get rolling. I need to get on the road. I need to get this figured out. And the patience part of it was not on his mind. He wasn't working with the patients. He wasn't really going through the process because he was in panic mode. Like, not all out panic, but first option, sounds great, let's rock. Well, now he's working with his patients. Now he's got a great plan. And as I've always said, you've got to, if you buy a truck, it's got to be scalable. Just make sure your company is scalable. If you're hauling a 2-car right now, how long are you going to haul a 2-car for? How long are you going to do a 3-car for? You know, that's just, you've got to keep all that stuff in your thought process. You know what I mean? So number 2 was the people, the network, the mentor, which goes right along with the open-mindedness and the willing to learn and taking advice and all this. And now, number 3 ties into all those. It's funny how this works. Having just a little concept of how mechanics work. To work on your own truck, to do wiring, change your tires, change your brakes, change your bearings. Like, it's simple stuff. Like, this stuff is really simple. And if you don't know how to do that, that's where your time will cost you a lot of money. And I said it in a previous video that the availability of mechanics can hurt and help you depending on what you're driving. So if you're in, like, I just had a breakdown out in Moorcroft, Wyoming. Now, I couldn't get the parts. You know, I couldn't get them. The only person that had the parts was a mechanic, a roadside mechanic. So, you know, he kind of got me on that. But if I was out there and let's say something went with my truck, I need to be able to fix that. If it's minor enough to get me back on the road. Like, I thought it was 1 airbag, but it was 2. Well, you know, it's kind of, you've got to know your limits, but you have to be able to work on these trucks. You have to be able to do just the minor stuff. If you call for a tire change, because you don't have a tire on your truck or whatever, that tire change is $500 on a pickup. If they got to come to you, bring you a tire and change it, you're looking at an easy nickel. You may get it done for $350, $400, but a nickel is right there where it's at. And they charge so much for the minor stuff because at that point, you're not paying for the work. It's not what you're paying for. You're paying for convenience and the knowledge that you don't have. So get that knowledge. And that goes with the research and the willingness. Get that knowledge of how to work on the trucks. From your mentor, from your network, from your circle, and from your research. So if y'all see, they all tie in together. Like, every little thing you do in trucking turns into a well-meshed, cohesive unit. It's like a military operation. Everybody's got their own part of it. You're doing this, you work on this, you watch this, boom, boom, boom. Well, your actions are the same thing, all right? I'm talking to these people to get this information to do this task to save this money and this time. So, you know, it just all goes together. And I'm not saying you need to be able to go out here and, you know, change your valves or rockers or pistons along the road, but change your air filter, change your oil filter, change a water pump, change an alternator, change a starter, like stuff like that is minor. It's just parts change. If it is a parts change in operation, you should be able to do it. And now, along with that, you also need to learn to diag stuff. you need to learn to know when it's your starter, when it's your alternator, or when it's your batteries, you know, or when it's your cables, like vice versa. So, and there's a lot of guys in these truck stops that will help you. I've had guys come over and teach me how to chain down equipment when I wasn't sure. You know, like there was one time I remember vividly in Hagerstown, Maryland. There was a flatbedder over there, and I needed to put my ratchet down, like a chain binder, because I was using chains, because it was a big, big truck. And I went over and I said, buddy, do you have a pipe I can use, you know, to close my binder? I was strapping down. And he asked me what I was doing, and I told him. Well, that guy came over and helped me and showed me. Dude, he taught me so much stuff in that 10 minutes. Strapping down, chaining down, how to wrap up the handle so it don't move, and you know how to secure the binder, because securing the binder is just as important as securing the load. Because if you don't secure the binder and it pops, then the load's loose. So there's a lot of stuff that getting into this we don't know, and we don't know it because we're not expected to know it because we've never used it. So, you know, just use your knowledge, use your wisdom, talk to people. Don't be scared of nobody. Don't be scared. I mean, you might run into a royal winky wink and move on to the next one. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Your success and your family's livelihood depends on this. At least mine does. So, get what you can get, do what you can do, and learn all you can. You know what I mean? So, I hope that helped you. The 3 keys of success in my business, anyway. You know, and a lot of it, like my network, a lot of mine comes from the YouTube and the Instagram and all that. But you guys don't have to have a channel. You don't have to have all that to reach out to other people, because what usually happens is, and I see it with NCT Transport on Instagram. So someone will reach out to him, and then they reach out to him, and then they get in that circle. Now they got like 7, 8, 9 guys, you know, and it works the same way with me at times, you know. But I have a core group of guys that, you know, I talk to all the time. So, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it made sense to you, at least a little bit. So, if you guys have any questions, you should know the drill by now. But if you don't, like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you want to see some more, go on over there and hit that ding ding. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.